Okay, today we're going to be in our math digital notebook. So go ahead and get yours ready. Get a piece of paper, get a pencil, get your calculator, and go ahead and pause the video right now to get your materials ready so you have them. I added pages last night. So at the very bottom, if you scroll down, you should have 3 new pages. We now have a Unit 2 cover page or title page, and then we have 2 note pages to work on. We're going to work on these together today. The first part, select all the following statements that can correctly describe a ratio. Remember, as you go through the video, pause it to get yourself caught up. All means there's going to be 2 answers for sure and maybe more. It's important that you read the sentences carefully. The ratio of dogs to cats is 4 to 5. In order for that to be a true statement, dogs, which is the first word, must match the first number. I don't like yellow. I shouldn't have done yellow. Let's do a color we can see. Green and green. So if dogs is the first word, the first number has to go with dogs. If you look at the picture, there are not 4 dogs, there are 5. So that is an incorrect statement. I like to cross out my incorrect statements. You do not have to. The next one, the ratio of dogs to cats is 5 to 4. That looks correct. There's 5 dogs, there's 4 cats. I would scribble that, make a circle of some sort so I can keep track. I want you to read through the rest of those, decide whether you think that they are true or false. Go ahead and pause the video while you do that. Alrighty, ratio of total animals to cats is 8 to 4. If I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there are not 8 total animals, so I know that would be incorrect. The ratio of dogs to total animals is 5 to 4. Well, there are 5 dogs, but there are not 4 total animals, so that is also incorrect. And then the ratio of dogs to total animals is 5 to 9. That is another true statement, so I would choose that as true. So we'll make this all look the same. The next part we can do together. You need text boxes. When you double a recipe, you double, there's my words, you double the ingredients. You're going to scale a recipe. That means you are going to multiply each ingredient by the same number. Scaling a recipe results in the same. You want your recipe to taste the same. Maybe you'll get some opportunity to cook or go through recipes over the Thanksgiving break. A lot of times in my family, if we make cookies or something, I always make a double or triple batch. That means I multiply single thing in the recipe by the same number, or I double everything, or I triple everything. That means all of my batches will be equivalent. Remember, pause the video as you need to, because I will run out of time, so I have to go kind of fast. Next, you're going to write a ratio for this first picture. I have 3 ice cream cones. I have 4 pie slices. However, it says pie slices to ice cream. So my ratio is going to be 4 to 5. And then I need to write it in 3 different ways. The different ways would be 4, use the word to, and the other way would be written as a fraction. You're going to do the same right here with number 2, which would be ice cream cones and cupcakes. Equivalent ratios mean you take all of your parts of your ratio and you either double them or triple them, multiply by a number. So if I double 4, that would give me an 8. If I double the 5, that would give me a 10. You need 2 more additional ratios because you need a total of 3. You can double these numbers, triple these numbers, multiply. Just remember, you have to multiply the 4 and the 5 by the same number. I will do one more for you. Let's say 4 times 4, that is 16. And we'd also have to do 5 times 4, which would be 20. Make sure that you do 3. Oh, not my scribble. My scribble. Make sure that you do 3 for each. Let's see if I can move that. I don't know. What a mess I made. 3 for each. Okay, and you're going to do sentence number 2. Down below, you have to practice doing the sentences. So for every 1, 2, 3 ice cream cones, there are 4 pie slices, and then the ratio of where'd it go? Ice cream cones to pie slices is 4 to 3. And somebody is calling me. Okay, and then down below here it says you need to write 2 more ratio sentences on your own. So you're going to follow the same pattern using the sentence stems. This will be on the quiz. So you could have one that starts as 4 every blah, blah, blah. You're going to follow the same pattern. Your other sentence could be the ratio, and use your same information, either pie slices and ice cream cones or ice cream cones to cupcakes. All right, let's go to the second page. You need to show the 3 batches of paint. So to make purple paint, you need 3 reds and 2 blues. You can't copy mine, but you can bring your own shape. And I used a diamond, so you can paste yourself a little diamond. Make it smallish. I don't know why it's so big. And then once you have that, you can Control V, Control V, Control V. Oh, okay. I do not know what's going on here. All right, try it again. I'm going to get a shape. I'm going to make it smallish. I'm going to make it red. Let's see if this works. I'm going to Control C, and then I'm going to Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. I think that's enough. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I need to do it again. Control V. This guy I need to make blue. And then let's see, Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. And then I made some more. So now I've made 3 batches of paint, and my color is going to be exactly the same. If I use 9 reds and 6 blues, I will have the exact same color of purple paint, which is awesome. Let's see. What is a ratio? I don't know why my thing is being weird. Ratio is a comparison of 2 things using numbers. And then you could have an example of like 4 spiders, 2, 3, I don't even know, ladybugs. That could be our ratio. And I like to have a color. What happens when you multiply a number by a factor greater than 1? Will the answer be greater or less? So I'm going to put some math problems in here. So 4 times 1 equals 4 times 2 equals 4 times 3.2 equals 4 times 2 and 1/2 equals, actually let's make this like 6.2, make it a big number. All right, so you need to come up with those answers. Go ahead and pause your video while you work on that. All right, then if you have your answers, you should have had an answer of 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 6.2, well 4 times 6 is 24, 4 times 0.2 is 0.8, so I think it's 24.8. Let me get my calculator out. Four times 6.2, 24.8. Bigger. And then 4 times 2.5. Well, 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times a half, or half of 4 is 2, so that would be 10. And what you should notice is that anytime you multiply by more than 1, the answer is greater than what you started with. So when you multiply by a factor greater than 1, the answer is greater than what you started with. Remember to pause the video as you go so that you can keep track of everything. So factor greater than 1, I'm going to highlight that. That's important. So the answer will be greater. Actually, I want that. So this is greater than 1. It's greater than 1. So with that in mind, you probably can guess what's going to happen when you multiply by a factor less than 1. So we already know 4 times 1 is 4. So let's do something different. It's just not, we'll do 4 times 0.5 equals 4 times 0.02 equals 4 times 1/4, equals, and we'll do 4 times 2/5. So pause the video and get your answers. 4 times 0.5, 0.5 is half, half of 4 is 2. 4 times 0.2, well, we can think of 4 times 2 is 8, and I have 2 decimal place values. I'm in the hundreds, so my answer has to be in the hundreds, so it's 8 hundredths. 4 times a fourth, that means 1/4 of 4. That means cut 4 into 4 equal sized pieces. Well, that's a 1. And then 2/5, that's going to be a messy answer. The answer is 8/5, or 1 3/5. Yeah. So when we multiply by a factor less than 1, the answer is less than what we started with. Oopsie, I just want to highlight. Factor less than 1, go green, and the answer is less. Nope. Does not want to be helpful. So a decimal, basically we're talking about decimals or fractions less than a whole number 1. I'll highlight all of those. Now, some people today had a hard time getting their notebook to work. I'm not sure why. Remember, you can always go back to my notebook and look at what I have finished. Ratios are equivalent when you multiply both parts of the ratio by the same factor. Factor means a number you multiply. So we got to learn that vocabulary word. And of course, I like to fill. So I noticed that I did some work here. So equivalent ratios. Now, some people today went, oh, 7, 14, we're just counting by 7, so I'm going to count by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, that doesn't work. It's not just counting by 7s, it's actually multiplying. So if I get my scribbler, what do I multiply by 7 to make a 14? Well, you should be able to say, boy, that's a horrible scribble. 7 times 2 is 14. So 5 times 2 is 10, because we have to do the same thing to both parts of our fraction. So down here, we need to think about 7 times what equals 63. Get your calculator out, pause the video, figure out that answer. I need to do the same thing. Whatever that factor is, I'm going to multiply it by 5. Where'd my scribbler go? So 7 times 9 is 63. So 5 times 9 is 45. Okay. And I'm going to do a little box right here that says times 9. And then I want all of that to be red so it stands out. I want that to be red so it stands out. And then I want to copy this whole thing, see if it'll let me. I don't know why it won't let me. Copy. And let's make a little box. And paste. So that means both parts of my fraction I had to do, and maybe I'll put it up here. So you know you're saying, well, 7 times 9 is going to give me 63. So 5 times 9 is going to give me the 45. Then you need to make your own equivalent fractions right here. I will make a couple for you. I'd like you to make the rest. I can do a 3. So if 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 3 is 12. I could do a 9. 1 times 9 is 9. 4 times 9 is 36. Let's make this a 7. Let's make this a 5. And you fill in the rest of the numbers. Remember, you can pause the video, you can go back, and you can always check with my master. Have a great day. When you are done with this, you need to work on Khan Academy, and you need to work on it on Thursday, because I will not see you guys again until Friday. Have a great afternoon.